Hello everybody, welcome back. So I know I only made this video, a video on OMI yesterday. I'll make another one today because we've been waiting for this signal here, and we're saying this could be a signal that takes place in the cloud or below the cloud or above the cloud, and it's taken place above the cloud. And so what we're looking at here, if you just zoom in closely, this is one of the signals that we love, we being me. The Ichimoku Cloud is like a really good indicator. I suggest that you try to understand at least a few ways to play it. There are quite a few ways to play it. I only use two ways. This is my favourite way, and given the way that the market's been, we're not likely to see many of these particular setups. To be honest with you, we probably won't get any of these particular setups for a long time, so it's quite rare that we've got one. So if you have a look over here, we've got our blue crossing our red. That's the conversion line crossing the baseline, right? So that in itself isn't, you know, a signal in itself. But what other things you look for this particular setup? There's three things that have to all happen together, right? So the first thing is we've got to have the price action above the cloud, right? So that it doesn't matter what color the cloud is, red or green, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be above the cloud. So we've clearly got that here. We also need this. You see this skinny little white line, green line here? That's your Chiku span. We need that to close above the price. Okay, so we've got that also, and then we need the conversion baseline, which we've got that clicked in this morning. So we've got that now. So we've got three signals, and that has to take place above the cloud, right? So cross above the cloud, price above the cloud, and Chiku span above price, not cloud but price. And obviously that's almost always going to happen above the cloud just by default. And this particular signal means that this is a trend confirmed. So you might think, well, that's and you'd be right in thinking that's a bit mad, because we've already gone up quite a lot in the short space of time. How far can this possibly go? Well, you know, in normal circumstances, you know, outside of crypto and especially small caps like this, which I don't know if this is classed as a small cap, but it's not a very highly traded coin because it's not on many exchanges. You take this extremely seriously, and this would be an entry point. So the entry point generated, you know, as of today. So choose if you wanted to choose to buy this. Obviously, it's up to you to do it. It's not for me to say. This is just one signal against many. But we spoke about this yesterday about how many bullish signals and setups you've got on one single chart. So this one does look pretty good. My only problem is that it only really trades on Gate.io and a couple of others, and the rest of the market is looking quite tired, although Bitcoin does appear to be at a support, so there is that against it. Anyway, you watch the video I made yesterday if you want to know about all the other setups that this has got. But now that we've got the conversion baseline cross, confirming that this should now go into an uptrend, and again, no signal or indicator has a 100% success rate. And again, we could just dump down to our next moving average, or maybe even the descending trend line here from this descending triangle. All of that's possible, but in the grand scheme of things, we've got an indicator here that's confirmed on the daily, which should mean that we start to go up again and continue to go up. So basically an uptrend. So obviously we've moved up a lot, so I can understand the concerns. That's 66% from the bottom of the range to the top of the range, and again we're at resistance as well. So again, you take this indicator with a pinch of salt on its own. We're assuming now at this stage now that this will uptrend and break this support and move up towards at least 1 cent, and hopefully beyond that. If you're trading with this particular indicator, you wait for the exit point. So we've got the entry point was a blue cross the red entry point. Well, that's the last confirmed component to this, but the next thing you'd look for an exit point would be the blue cross the red again to the down, or this Chiku span to touch price action, which means that we can sustain some significant downtrend, really, back down to what, 0.66 of a cent, maybe even lower if we take a bit of time, so long as we don't touch the price action. As soon as the price action has been touched, that's a get out of the trade signal. That means that this uptrend is very likely to be over. Now, you don't have to get out when the Chiku span touches the price action, but you know, if you're trading based on this indicator, it does give you an entry point. You should also take seriously the exit point. That exit point could mean the trade has failed or the uptrend has come to an end. But there are two exit points. The first one being, it doesn't matter which one happens first. Sometimes you get the cross first, but usually the first thing that tells us to get out is the Chiku span, and that would be get out of the trade wherever the price might be at the time. Because this is a lagging, some people call it the lagging span. It's called a Chiku span. It's a Japanese indicator. They've all got Japanese names. But the lagging span or the Chiku span here is 26 periods behind our current candle body. So you'll see that actually matches perfectly 26 periods, right? So 26 periods behind. So wherever this closes today, this will close here. If this closes up here today, this will close. The cheeky span will close up here today. It's 26 periods behind. Just as this portion of the cloud is 26 periods ahead. Not that that really means much for this particular use of the indicator. So yeah, you will often find that touches price action before you get a negative cloud cross between conversion and baseline, because these are essentially moving averages. They are basically moving averages to an extent, and so this is a bullish cross, and now we've got three components suggesting an uptrend will begin from here. Now, it doesn't tell you how aggressive the uptrend will be. I made a tutorial on the Ichimoku Cloud using Fetch AI as the example of when we got a really good signal before, and the indicator clicked, and we got the entry point at about 5.5 cents. It went up by 10x before we got the well, it went up further than 10x, but we got the exit point at about a 10x level. So we didn't get the absolute top, but we did get a 10x out of the trade because we waited and waited and waited, because the indicator tells us to get in and tells us to get out. So whether you trust the indicator on something like OMI is up to you. I'm already in this from a lower level, so it's just nice to see a confirmation of an uptrend form at this level. So, you know, I would probably be on your side looking at this now going, okay, well, you know, I'm a bit scared. The market's generally red. You know, we are at, you know, a very strong level of resistance here historically since we came up to test this level. So I'm a bit scared to enter the trade, and I would agree with you. I mean, I probably would be a bit hesitant to do it myself. Yeah, and again, if this was something like Bitcoin or Ethereum or a top cap coin that was traded across the board, I'd take it probably a lot more seriously, and I would just enter anyway. But because it's not that, and because it's OMI and it's only on small exchanges currently, then there is an element of doubt in there. But again, this is the indicator that I like. This is the signal, my favourite signal of all signals, and this is what we've got. So it's worth reporting back to you that we've got the indicator, we've got the signal. It's all been generated as of this morning. So, you know, taking an entry on this, you know, on this is valid versus this one signal, but take it with a pinch of salt. It is only a small, I wouldn't say small cap, but it's a coin that's traded, you know, on small exchanges. Is it really is it as relevant basically as it should be? So I thought I'd bring it to your attention because we were waiting for it. Now we've got it, so there you go. It's up to you what you do. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what the indicator means. Whether you use it or not is up to you. Whether you take it seriously or not on a coin like OMI, again, is up to you. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.